Hi, welcome to my presentation of Google Analytics. My name is Bảo Ngọc, and today I'll be introducing Google Analytics and its latest version, Google Analytics 4, also known as GA4. So Google Analytics has long been a powerful tool that helps business understand user behavior, track website performance, and make data-driven decisions. However, GA4 represents a major shift. Unlike the old Universal Analytics, the old version, GA4 is built around event-based tracking, cross-platform measurement, and a more privacy-focused data model. To be more specific, you can look at the table I put right there. So, looking at the image of the dashboard, the uh, above is the image of the account of your original Google Analytics, and the below is the account of a Google Analytics 4. As Google now requires all new Analytics account to use GA4, Google cover both the uh, own Google Analytics and the new GA4 in this presentation. In many cases, these two systems operate with similar structures, and if the setup is consistent, they can provide comparable insight. Understanding the differences and how to transition smoothly will help you get the most valuable insight from your data. So, moving on to chapter 1, digital analytics. Let me start this topic with a simple truth. In today's world, a business digital footprint can quite literally make or break a success. Every post you publish, every ad you run, every click on a website, it all leaves a digital trail. But here's the catch: if you're not tracking that trail, you are essentially flying birds. Imagine like turning your air conditioner during the hottest day of summer, and then you open all the door and window in the house to let all the breeze out. You'd never do that, right? Yet that is exactly what happened when business invest time, money, resource, effort into digital marketing without monitoring the digital input and output. So the energy is there, the cost is real, but everything escapes. This is where digital analytics step in. Digital analytics is the process of collecting data from people as they interact with your website and turning that data into something you can actually understand and act on. Research shows that customers make decisions in stages, so analytics will help you see those stages more clearly. For example, how the users arrive on your site, and then what pages they explore, where do they drop off, and most importantly, where they convert. Whether that's making a purchase, signing up for your newsletter, signing up an account with you, engaging with your content, that's all conversion. That's all matter. So once you see these patterns, you can make smarter decisions. You can identify which marketing campaigns actually generate sales rather than guessing around. You can discover whether customers are struggling with a certain step in your checkout process, or you can see whether people are viewing your site on mobile, desktop, or tablet, and whether your website responds quickly enough to keep them from leaving. So take my digital marketing project, the analytics of bóng.co website, for example. We focus our communication tactics on three main channels: Facebook, Direct, and Threads. So as a result, they attract most users to the homepage. However, only half of them actually visit the category listing page to view the products and so on. But on the other hand, most users who came from Instagram and Google visit the category page. We did not focus on communication on these channels comparing to the other three, but the data now show that they worth more investment, right? So suddenly, customer behavior becomes a roadmap. And that roadmap tells you where to invest, what to improve, and how to grow. And this brings us to Google Analytics. So by the end of this video, you will not only understand what digital analytics is, but why it matters and how GA4 and GA own version will combine and help you use data to grow smarter, faster, and more efficiently. Because in the digital world, the business that survive are not the ones that shout the loudest. They are the ones that listen to the customers, to the data, and to the story that the numbers are already telling. So that's giving us to chapter 2, using digital analytics to grow your business. So it doesn't really matter what kind of business you run, as long as you exist online, digital analytics can help you grow. Think of it as you are in a dark and you turn a light on. Suddenly you can see very clearly where people are coming from, what are they doing on your site, and what's stopping them from becoming your customers. And today I'm going to briefly walk you through the major components of digital analytics homepage in the Google Analytics so you can start seeing your data clearly too. This overview will help you understand how analytics can support real growth, for your website or business. And as we go deeper in a later chapters or in a chapter in a part two presentation, each area will reveal even more insights about how user behave, where opportunity lie, and what you can optimize to drive better result online. So let's dive into the Google Analytics. Let's start with what you will see the moment right when you log into the Google Analytics site. You will be greeted with a dashboard of the homepage, something that looks very much like this. Yeah, you can see on the screen. So what the dashboard does is it shows you the data over time, side by side. These comparisons are incredibly powerful because they help you answer important questions like, did a recent website change actually improve performance? For example, are users behaving differently this week compared to last week? Like, you just make some change or you did nothing and they go away, or they advocate more. Like in this image, in the last 7 days, there is a slight decrease in the number of users. So we may either be attracting fewer new customers or failing to retain on customers, right? It's either by our new experiment or by our falling behind. I don't know. So we need to work on that. The dashboard help us to monitor and see whether your updates are giving us the impact we hope for. So this is very helpful in one of the tactics called A/B testing to test the performance. So by reading these trends and patterns, you can quickly tell whether you need to adjust something, double down on what working, or completely rethink an element of your site. In short, the dashboard is your real-time feedback loop and one of the most valuable tools for making smart data-driven decisions. So at the bottom of the graph, you will have selectors. You see if there an arrow that go down. If you click on that, you will have a list of selections. You can select the day, the week. So here I select the 7 days, but you can extend to the last 28 days, 30 days, last 90 days, or even more. We can go into more setting and select the previous calendar year also, and we can customize the date range. So it's very helpful if you want to deep dive into your analysis and serving your purpose of analysis. So moving on to the channel. What's important to understand first is how a customer found your website. For this, we need to look at the channels. So the following image, we see that the channel customer are what they are using to access your website. Yeah, the first image on below the chapter 2 letter. So here we can see the main source of your total users and also the new user recently. Here you can know your trends, your core trends, and the current trend and identify the sources of growth. Moving on to the column chart on the right. So in this case, on February 13, we have 6 users from affiliate. You can see that, just a few from search, and about 1,000 from direct traffic. You can also cycle around those sources, use your mouth, cycle around and see where this traffic is coming from, a little bit more detail. And on the paid ad account, where they might have the Google CPC, which is cost per click basis, also written sometimes as PPC, price per click, which is also known as Google AdWords. And for now, this allows us to very quickly see where our traffic is coming from, what channel are growing and what channels are not. So we also have the referral, and referrals are different channels that send us traffic, so we can manage the return on investment on our affiliate strategy. For example, in this case, look at the Creator Academy on YouTube. They are one of the top referral for this website, so they're listed here, but they didn't send the website much traffic. Here you can see, but here you can see on the 14th, Creator Academy did send the website at least one user from their platform. That's still very little. So this is a rationale to check traffic volume versus the presence. So a partner may appear high on the list because the presence is high, but they send very little traffic. This helps you to decide whether a partnership or affiliate link is worth keeping, or their audience match our audience, and also evaluate the affiliate ROI. If an affiliate or a creator rarely sends traffic, it may not be producing meaningful result, and you may reconsider that. Moving on to the device, the following graph, the pie chart for the show us the statistic on the type of device people use to find our website. These devices are categorized at desktop, mobile, and tablet. These are what devices people use to find and access to your website. So as we move to the bottom of the homepage, assuming that your website is set up for the e-commerce, Google Analytics reveals something incredibly powerful, real insight into your consumers, not just numbers, but behavior. What they are browsing, what catch their attention, and ultimately how those actions contribute to your revenue. And when everything is properly configured, this become a living dashboard of your business health. You see data on users registration, purchase, goal completions, and even which pages customers spend the most time interacting with. It's like having a behind the scenes view of your digital storefront running 24/7. And what's even better is that all of this is adjustable and trackable over time, just like the graph we saw earlier. You can compare performance week over week, month over month, or even across specific campaign period. This makes it incredibly easy to understand the impact of your decision, whether that's a new product launch, a layout change, or a marketing push. You see, A/B testing very efficient. And remember, this is still just the homepage. We haven't even begun exploring the deeper features, custom reports, attribution models, or the many way the Google Analytics can help you pinpoint the problem and amplify what already working. If there's one message I want you to take away at this chapter, it is data is not just information, it's direction. It guides your decision, protect your budget, and helps you grow smarter, not just faster. And as we go further, we'll unpack even more tools and techniques that you can use to turn analytics into actual business result. So moving on to chapter 3, you see how Google Analytics work. Let's take a look at what kind of information it captures behind the scene. At the core of everything is a tiny HTML tracking tag, just a small piece of code that you install on your website. It looks simple, but it's incredibly powerful. The code tag look kind of like this. You can get it and copy it by accessing the tag manager. I'll walk you through how to install this tag on platforms like WordPress and Shopify, but for now, here's the key idea. So once this tag is placed on your site, Google Analytics would use it to create cookies for each visitor. These cookies act like a digital follower that follow the user throughout their whole customer journey on your website. And as they move from page to page, the tracking code quietly collect valuable information, such as where did the user come from, was their visit triggered by AdWords or your campaign, or did they click on a link from a Facebook page, for example, or did they come from a referral from partner site? Google Analytics also detects the type of device they use, whether they're browsing from a smartphone, even a watch, the smartwatch, or the tablet, a desktop, and even a specific browser or operating system. This matters because user behavior often changes dramatically between different devices, and knowing this helps you to optimize your website for the right audience. Now let me demonstrate how we can add the tag code to our account. First, we need to add a tag container. Go to your workspace on Tag Manager and click your container ID that's tagged with GTM and a dash like this. Follow the instruction on the screen and copy your code that it pop up. Once you are done, you can copy your website URL, and there's some a field called test. You copy it to your own URL to the test to test if you add the snippet correctly. Now that you added a container, you can decide which tag you want to add on that. So open your container, click tag on the navigation, and click um, here the navigation, and you click new. Then click tag configuration to choose the kind of tag you want to set up. It will appear a list. You choose what you want and you are all set. So the tag help us to get some information, right? Let's get into what information is collected and then discuss what information is not collected. Let's look at the audience page. The audience tab is one of the most revealing section of the entire system. Here, the analytics account gives you segmentations such as demographic data, such as age range, gender distribution, and sometimes even inferred interest. You also see geographic information where your users are located, what language their browser is set to, and what market segment they fall into. Beyond demographic data, this page also gives you behavioral insight. For example, how often do your users come back to your site? How long do they stay on each session? And do they bounce quickly or do they engage with multiple pages? This layer of data helps you to understand not just who your users are, but how they interact with your website in real time also. And most importantly, you can identify friction points, which are the areas where users are consistently dropping off or abandoning their journey. That information becomes the foundation of improving your site design, strengthening your market campaign, and ultimately increasing your conversions. So, in short, Google Analytics will give you visibility into your audience motivation, behavior, and preference. Although all through a simple tracking tag, very small but very powerful. As we continue, I'll take you deeper into the system and show you exactly how to leverage all the insight, big and small, for smarter decision making and sustainable digital growth. Now let's proceed to chapter 4. So before you dive deeper in Google Analytics, you need to know the 15 basic terms of it. So first one is page view. Page view is counted every time a page loads or reload. If a user refreshes or returns to the same page, each load counts as a new page view. So page view will help you to understand which page attract the most attention and which content the user repeatedly return to. And unlike regular page view, a unique page view counts only one view per user per session. So no matter how many times they reload or visit the page, this metric provides a clear picture of how many actual users are interested in a page without inflation from repeated views. So you can get the most accurate dynamic landscape. You can see the example below to understand the difference between page view and unique page view. In this example, a single user has visited the 5 pages in a sequential order in one session in the order I listed here. Yeah, and we observe that one user made one section with 5 page view and 3 unique page views. And for unique section count, page one was viewed. So we don't care how many times because it's unique, okay? So it was viewed in one session. Similarly, page two and page three were also viewed in one session. So I wait for you about a few couple of minutes so you can watch this more clearly and understand what I was talking about. Okay, so let's proceed to the next part. Session represent a period of continuous user activity on your site. A session ends if the user is inactive for 30 minutes or leave and return later. So one user can generate multiple sessions, and session will help evaluate overall engagement levels and how user behave in a single browsing experience. And the users would count how many distinct individuals visited your site. So each user is identified via the cookies. The cookies is enabled via the HTML tag that I talked about. So one user may generate multiple sessions and page views. Comparing users and sessions will help you to understand the user loyalty and the visit frequency. So let's think about this. What is more important in analysis to you, unique page view or sessions? My answer is that it depends. Unique page view is the best when you analyze a specific page, and sessions is the best when you analyze the whole website experience. And there's a lot of different occasion that it's better to use one from those two, as you can see in a table. And most of the time, please remember total session would be less than total unique page views, and the unique page view would be less than total page views. And sometimes the non-interaction page view hit counts unique page view but doesn't count the session. So that result in what I've said above. So if you don't know what hit mean, let's move on to the next term. Hit is any interaction that triggers the Google Analytics tracking code, such as page load, event, or transaction. Hit would form the raw data that the Google Analytics process. Monitoring hit would help confirm that the tracking code is firing correctly across your site. Now, the new user is the first time visitor recorded by the Google Analytics. If user browse with cookie blocking uh, software or clear cookie often, they might appear new repeatedly because Google Analytics fail to recognize them again because they get they put the cookie on each user. That's how they identify them. And the returning users are the visitor who have the Google Analytics cookie and come back and didn't clear the cookie. So it recognized that the same cookie has come back. This breakdown helps you to measure the audience growth and loyalty. And the segment would allow you to isolate the analyze specific group of traffic. You can segment by traffic type, for example, by paid search, organic search, social, referrals, direct, so far. And you can segment by demographics, like by age, by gender, for example, or you may segment by location and by device type. Segments will help you to understand performance differences between audience and tailor strategies accordingly. And a landing page is the first page that a user sees when they entering your site. Every page can technically be a landing page. The landing page often determines whether the visitors stay or leave, so analyzing landing pages help optimize user experience and campaign performance. Now, the bounce rate is a ratio that measures the percentage of sessions where the user left without interacting. An important note is that a high bounce rate is not always bad. For example, for e-commerce product pages, a high bounce rate would definitely a problem, right? But for a blog or a festival information page, high bounce rate can be kind of normal because users often come to read one thing, they collect the information they need and they know that and they leave. So bounce rate highlights problems with the UX content or traffic targeting, but as I said, it depends on the context. Time on page is a metric that shows how long users stay on a specific page on average. A low time on page may indicate you are having an engaging content or your website is having a slow loading speed, and you may suffer from a mismatch between user expectations and page content. So, generally, a higher time on page often indicates that you have valuable, relevant content on your site. And digging into the content, or some might say the site content, Google Analytics would analyze performance of all of your content, like which page get the most views, how user navigate through them, and which page lose traffic. This help you to optimize your messaging and your content distribution, the UX and the content structure to guide user to watch conversion. And direct traffic appears when Google Analytics cannot detect a referring source. The common causes, or the user might type your URL directly to their search bar on their um, surfing website, or the user bookmark your site already, so they have a shortcut, or the app to browser transition. Um, yeah, they click on an app and it immediately shift it to the a browser. So the Google Analytics cannot detect that, and they can maybe results from some privacy browser or block referrals. So a high direct traffic often signals strong brand familiarity and return visitors. And referral traffic would come from other websites like social media or external campaigns linking to your site. This helps you to identify which platform or partner or, affiliate tactic that are driving qualified visitors. Referral sources are important for affiliate programs, collaborations, and content distribution. And the event will track the custom user interaction that are not the page loads. For example, there are a few like button clicks, video plays, file downloads, or the scroll depth. So the event allow deeper understanding of how user behave beyond simply looking at pages. And finally, the last terms is goal or conversion. The goals will let you track completion of the key actions like purchases, sign up for newsletter, adding to cart, or booking appointments, or completing the download if you are view monitoring a mobile app. So the goals would so that what percent of users convert, and the type of convert is depending on your purpose. So the goal is the heart of measuring the business success. So that is all of the 15 terms that you should know. Understanding these 15 concepts will give you a solid foundation to later to read, interpret, and act on your website performance data. Each metric will tell a different story about user behavior, traffic quality, website health, and conversion effectiveness. When used together, they reveal exactly where your website is thriving, where it is struggling, and which action will drive the most growth, and if you are having problem, which action will help improving. Moving on to the next chapter, creating a Google Analytics account. First, a quick note before we begin. Because Google Analytics is a part of the Google Marketing Platform ecosystem, you must have a Google account, typically a Gmail account, to create and manage analytics. Many business create a dedicated company Gmail so that access stays centralized, but using your personal Gmail for business is also okay as long as you keep your ownership clear. Yeah, not mixed together. When you start a new account, Google will ask you to name it. This account is the top level container in the analytics hierarchy. Under one account, you can have multiple properties, for example, one property for each website or app you manage. After naming the account, Google then asks whether you want to receive product update, benchmarking, or technical support. You see those check boxes. You can feel free to uncheck any of these if you don't like it. It wouldn't hurt anything. And I personally recommend you to enable at least the technical support, because having the Google help me out button all the time available would save you a lot of time when you're troubleshooting or you exploring around. Next, you will create your property. This is where the actual data lives. At this stage, you choose the name of the property, the reporting time zone, and the currency. These matter because they affect the revenue reporting, daily metric, and cross platform comparison. For example, this account operates in Los Angeles. The my example. So the owner of the website set the time zone to LA and the currency to USD, but you can adjust based on your business location. And Google will also ask you what industry category your website belongs to. For example, education, entertainment, home and garden. Yeah, then you select your business size. It doesn't change any number inside the analytics, but it will help Google tailor recommendations and pre-configure settings. Now come a very important part. Google will ask you how you intend to use its analytics tools. So this question might include things like, do you want to measure your customer engagement, or do you want to measure conversions or e-commerce sales, or do you want to optimize your marketing budget? Do you want to measure across multiple devices or platforms? There's a lot. So these choices will help Google pre-activate features that align with your goals. For example, if you enable a feature called measure content monetization, Google will suggest tool for blogger or creator to run ads on their site. But if you enable analyze sales data, the setup will automatically prepare e-commerce reporting. This system is not the final result. You can always adjust these later, but choosing thoughtfully from the beginning will save a lot of time. Once you confirm those intention, Google will show a few window asking you to acknowledge certain features. Just continue through and select what applies. Finally, you will reach the terms of service agreement. After reading and accepting all the terms, your analytics account will be created. At this point, Google will show you the options to install the tracking method. Today, as I said above, there are two main approaches. First is using the Google Tag Manager. As I show you the video, this is recommended for marketers and advanced setup, and there are many tutorials on the internet. But now GA4 enable you to install the basic tag directly on your website. It is very simple, but it is a new tactic, so it's not as popular as the Google Tag Manager. So, but you can choose either one. We'll start with the basic installation today. So once the account is created, your dashboard will show the GA4 property home screen. This is where you will later see the users, engagement, revenue, traffic sources, device categories, and all the other real-time data available. The final step is connecting Google Analytics to your website. Essentially, you need to install a tracking tag so Analytics can start collecting data on users. Google provide a little piece of JavaScript. This is the GA4 measurement tag. Yeah, the JavaScript is the new version tag of GA4. This tag is placed inside the head section of your website, so it loads on every page. If you're using WordPress or Shopify, there are built-in way to insert this tag without touching the raw code. I'll walk you through those installation in later section. But for now, just remember that the tracking tag is what allow analytics to follow the user journey, where visitors confirm which page they view and how they interact with your site. Without the tag, you cannot do any of that. Once the tag is installed and verified, you need to verify the tag also. Your Google Analytics account is officially live and ready to begin receiving the data. From this point on, every user interaction from page view to purchases will start to appear inside your analytics dashboard. This is where the real insight begin. So this is a picture where you set up the account and they ask you to name and pick the size and the industry, as I said earlier. So moving on to chapter 6, you have know everything about setting up the Google Analytics, right? So we need to connect the analytics to the website. So because without a connection, Google Analytics cannot collect any data at all, and all your effort is gonna be useless. In this section, I'll walk you through how this works for every website. The process looks slightly different on each platform, but the underlying logic is the same. Google Analytics will give you a code, and you place that code into your website. So once you understand how to install the tracking tag, you'll be able to apply it to almost any website because most platforms would follow that very similar pattern, with just a little bit different in tactic. So let's begin by locating the tag itself. The tag is a small snippet of JavaScript that allow Google Analytics to track user behavior on your site. Every platform, like whether WordPress, Shopify, or even Wixsite or anything else, would need this tag to collect data, and the most easiest way to have it is through Google. And after your Google Analytics account is set up, go to the admin panel. From there, open the setup assistant and look for the section called install tag or tag installation, depends on what version you're using. If you're using GA4, it is now the default version of Google Analytics. You may find this under the name called data stream. This is where your unique measurement ID and tracking code will live. Once we have the Google tag, we can install it on the website. There are a few ways to do this. Um, you can take the HTML code and install it directly into the theme head section if it allows you to. I will show you the step below. Or we can install it the easy way in WordPress, and this is with the measurement ID in the Google Analytics. This measurement ID is found under the admin tab. Selecting this option would shorten the step we need to link this account. Even if we are doing multi-domain tracking, we will just need this code for most applications. And installing is a bit different for each site. For those of you who aren't using Google and also not using WordPress, Shopify, Wix, or any CSS platform that support, and you will have to do the hard coding. So you can get your support from instruction by Google Analytics site, communication site on the internet, YouTube or Google. They are all available. For WordPress and Shopify, we're going to be just using this measurement ID. Let's go ahead and look at WordPress. The WordPress dashboard will be using Jetpack to install this code. Most modern WordPress websites are going to have Jetpack. It's something that started in the updated versions, and all WordPress websites should have it. If your site doesn't, you can get the Jetpack under plugins. So to do that, you will say go to the configure analytics setting of WordPress, and then you click configure analytics settings and you see the Jetpack option in the back end of WordPress interface. It's going to bring this screen, the screen out for you, and you place the measurement ID there to connect the new Google Analytics to your WordPress website. Then you click save. And on Shopify, you go to an online store preferences, then scroll down to Google Analytics account. This is where we will insert the Google Analytics ID. So that is how you're gonna install simpler than WordPress, right? Google Analytics tags on both Shopify and WordPress is most easy way to install. If you need to add the tracking to your website code, open the head file and insert the more extended code section. This is not the measurement ID, but the complete HTML tracking code. The author of the Google Analytics book that I am referencing to do this slide, he shared that he like to pass this um, process off to the new developer just in case there are coding issues. But his first digital marketing job was as both developer and marketer for a major brand, and this was before the website sales were a proven concept. So the basic coding is something he always encouraged digital marketer to learn because we always need that. We never know what happened and we cannot be so dependent. And basic knowledge of HTML, JavaScript, and other coding language, and PHP can solve many website problems. So, moving on to chapter 7, the user interface is all the part of Google Analytics we can interact with as user. Uh, we will dive deeper in the part 2 video, but here you see there are the main sections in this dashboard. When you open Google Analytics, this is the homepage of it, and it gives us an audience overview. You can go through and we can change and even customize the report. There are date selection. So if you want to go back to previous years, if you want to select a certain time period to analytic data, you can all do that. This is a standard configuration for Google Analytics. In the standard Google Analytics report, there are a few key areas you should always pay attention to. First is active user trend. This shows how your traffic is changing over time. Next is the acquisition report. It tells you exactly where your visitor come from. This includes Google Ad traffic, direct traffic, which is people typing your URL or other cases that I have listed above. Also the paid traffic, the display ad, the affiliate links, and social or referral sources. You can also see which country your visitor are from and what times of day your traffic peaks to optimize your content and your reaching. This is extremely helpful for planning customer support hours or scheduling post and campaigns marketing. Under retention, Google Analytics shows how many weeks under the users who keep coming back, giving you a quick view of your returning versus new users overall landscape. Device report will show what people are using, like what gadget, what device, what mobile, desktop, or any other new things, gaming features that can access to your website. Are they using that, which help you to understand how to optimize your page and your reach. If you set up goals or connected Google Ads, you can also review ad campaign and performance directly inside analytics. And in the real-time report, you can see what visitors are doing right now or at the very recent time span, which pages they are viewing, and when they click on them. This helps you to monitor the immediate impact of things like your new post, your ads, or your promotion, and especially when you need constant follow-ups. So that is the end of my presentation for part 1 of Google Analytics. I hope you enjoyed the video. The part 2 video is also on the same YouTube channel, and I have already opened public access. So there were some internet problems that caused some image to be maybe a bit blurry or low quality. So I will appreciate a lot if you can empathize that, and thank you for your attention. Wish you a very good day. Thank you.